Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Anything Wrestling Podcast. We are back here today with another episode. Unfortunately, today it is not a triple threat. We are missing Dan the Man. However, it is the Shant and...
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is the Commish. I am the advocate of this podcast. I am also a man of many talents, a man of many jobs. But unlike Heath Slater, I don't have kids to feed. Thank God. But yeah, welcome to the Anything Wrestling Podcast. Today we're going to be previewing another amazing grand spectacle. Okay, let's be honest. There's no need for this pay-per-view, but I guess.
I was just reading something where it said ticket sales are like the most horrible ever for this pay-per-view. They're literally giving out tickets for like a 2-for-1 deal. That's how bad it is.
Well, I mean, some of these matches are repeats.
All of them are basically repeats.
I mean, it's like we saw them somewhere. Like I guess like somewhere super. I guess a showdown went down or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, today's episode is sponsored to you by Very Berry Cheerios. I guess they're flavored with real fruit.
Well, if you're looking for something that has cheer in it, you can catch the WWE Network for a non-negotiable but very reasonable price of only $9.99.
$9.99.
It's not $10.
It's not $1,000, nor is it $1 million.
But $9.99.
Also brought to you in part by the up-and-coming Anything Wrestling Podcast 1 Instagram account. Eventually, you will be body slamming your way into that follow column, choke holding those likes, and also arm barring yourself into all those videos you'll enjoy.
What move was that?
I think that was move number 222, the arm bar.
So
Anyways.
yeah, we got a match card to get through. So my match breakdown guy, let's go.
So, by the way, since Dan the Man is not here, he did leave us a few notes. So, apparently, you can find anything in the Shockmaster's garden. Literally anything.
What happened to our list?
Oh, it's here, but the book is closed right now. We got to get through this this show. Anyways, we're going to start bottom up like we usually do because obviously this card changes as the show progresses. Who knows what's going to be what?
Yes.
But we got the following singles match for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Tony Ness versus To Be Decided. Now, by that, from what I'm seeing on the notes here on our most reliable source of notes, a.k.a. the internet, a.k.a. Don't Trust It, a.k.a. You can also find the Zero Live channel, a.k.a. YouTube. On June 11th, on the most current episode of 205 Live, a fatal four-way match between Akira Tozawa, Uni Lorcan?
Yeah, Lorcan.
Lorcan, Humberto Carrillo, and Drew Gulak occurred to determine the number one contender against Tony Ness for his Cruiserweight Championship. The match ended with both Gulak and Tozawa scoring a double pin. The show ended with Drake Maverick and referees discussing the decision.
Probably going to be a triple threat.
I don't know why they leave it to be decided. Like, I'd rather just it be a triple threat at this point. Like, I think what Drake and Triple H discuss is that we're trying to put Akira over, but we're also holding him back.
Is it maybe an attempt to try to spice things up and leave cliffhangers for 205 Live?
Possibly. I mean, be honest with the network. If you can be serious for a moment, Do you watch 205 Live and enjoy some of the matches? Because I do.
I don't watch 205 Live.
I watch highlights. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
And The highlights are great, and I get what they're trying to do because I forgot who tweeted it out. Was it Mike Canellis? Somebody tweeted that the guys there really put their effort to bring an A-list show.
Yes.
So,
well, specifically when Triple H took over.
So if someone's listening, old man,
he's not.
Put your fucking hearing aids in.
Well, even with those, he ain't listening.
Of course he's not, because he doesn't care. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're just leaving it up for suspense, like, oh, we decided you're all going to fight for it. Dan writes, Tony Ness defends the Cruiserweight belt and retains don't know or care about who it is on the other side.
Do you think it's maybe a way to bring some suspense to the pay-per-view? Because like we just discussed, ticket sales are down, interest is down, people caring is non-existent. So maybe they're trying to put in like a surprise or a impromptu factor in this whole thing.
Could be. I mean, if you can't sell out the show in 15 minutes like the competitors can lately, you gotta give away the tickets. You gotta like add something to the spice of it.
I mean,
at this point, I'm gonna regret saying this. Do you think they're gonna start putting a couple NXT matches in there just to add spice?
They'll probably, like I said, they're probably going to have spontaneous stuff during the pay-per-view just to try to increase viewership. And yes, that could be very well a thing.
Well, how do you feel about the match? Like you personally?
Again, I don't follow up with 205 Live. All I can say is that with the exception of Money in the Bank, usually all these matches tend to always deliver. Whether it's on the kickoff or it's on the actual show itself, like I said, with the exception of Money in the Bank, I trust that whoever the two are or whoever the three people are in this match, they'll put on, a great match. Most likely we're going to go back to this being on the pre-show. Which is a shame because if you want to have some excitement on the actual pay-per-view where you're not selling tickets, you put these guys in there and say, hey, go out there, have a 5-star classic. Just saying.
We'll give you 15 minutes.
Of fame. Get it?
Who's your pick?
Tony Nese. I'm going to go with Tony Nese.
So I'm going to throw a curveball because you both picked him. I'm going to go with the to-be-decided person. Okay. I just want to see how it plays out, if there's even going to be something different. I mean, have you seen the show?
I will say Raw last night was actually good. So,
all right. So moving upward, we have the tag team match of the New Day with the returning Big E Langstrom, Big E.
Do you have another throat thing that you got to call?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Big E. Since apparently I'm censored. Like,
right to censor?
No, God, no. Versus Kevin Owens and Samuel Zayn in a regular tag team match. Now, let's build with what's going on with this. Like, at first, it was just Kevin versus Kofi. And that's where the rivalry kind of added Xavier Woods a little bit into it since Big E was hurt. But then we added Sami Zayn into it. And then all of a sudden, Big E comes back. There's a couple jabs at them. And now it's becoming like this thing where it's like, let's just remove Kofi from it.
About time.
Let's just stick to the other two principal factors of the New Day. And then since Kevin's not really getting much of a title run right now, let's have Sami Zayn be in there because, of course, you can't have the two, which I think are the currently best heels of your program working together again. Working a good program with these two. Now, Sammy is kind of like the voice of the WWE, supposedly.
Through Vince.
I wish it was just him. But, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like this tag team match is kind of like, hey, we need this, but at the same time, do we need this?
Yeah.
How do you feel about all this whole story since
So, Dan and I have been saying it for months now that Kofi needs to break away from the tag team picture. He sometimes feels like the third wheel when the three of them share a ring together. It's like, bro, you're the champion. You're supposed to be like the guy in the, in
The
the
company
spotlight.
guy.
Yeah,
Like the main guy.
exactly. So, again, Dan and I went back and forth on this where I said, unfortunately, I feel like Sammy and Kevin are forever sort of, what's the word?
Wink.
Cursed. Because they came up together, then they split, then they were back together, then they got injured together, now they're back together, so it's like they're always mingled. This match, you know what? I was gonna say probably match of the night, but I'm gonna hold back on that. I'm gonna leave it for another match. But going back to your point, I feel like this is one of those matches where it's like, we have it, sure. Do we need it?
Can we live without it? Yeah. Dan wrote in, might see that heel turn by Big E where he costs, and I don't know why I said cast, but I'm sure he meant costs.
Yeah.
Cost these guys, cast these guys aside. I should keep moving forward. God. He already he left a real short note for this. He picks the New Day to win. Match wise, I kind of feel like let's just give it to New Day, but I kind of want the heel turn already, or maybe for once, kind of like the Kofi thing where you built his championship run. Let's just build on this. Let's just have a weird impromptu win by the New Day where you kind of question Big E. Like, he kind of tries to cost them the match, but like, I messed up.
Yeah.
My bad. We still won though. Type of a thing. But you can see it in his face, like, he's not like really feeling the whole like pancakes and live.
Yeah. I want to throw this in there. If Big E is going to betray New Day, I feel like he has to betray them when Kofi is around and in the ring. Because if he stabs Xavier Woods, it's like, okay, but it's like Kofi's like the main guy right now. So.
Well, who's your pick?
I'm going to go with KO and Sami Zayn on this one. I'm going to be the oddball out.
So you're all out?
Hey, someone's got to fight for the fallen. You can...
Oh. Anyways, moving forward to the United States Championship match, we have Joey Samoa Blowy Samoa Joey.
Joe.
Versus formerly the King.
Recoil Shade.
Rico Chet.
Rico Chet.
Rico Shea.
Cachet.
So on Raw they had what? It was a fatal 5-way match for
Great
the number
match.
one opportunity.
Great match. I wish it would have been Cesaro, but no.
He's still gonna advocate for the guy.
4 years. Where did we go wrong?
Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have Ricochet versus Samoa Joe, and let's just put it out there right now. We had an idea of what we wanted with Samoa Joe to do as far as like his championship reign has been going. Now that he's a 2-time United States champion.
2-time.
That's it. Already said twice. United States champion. He should have impromptu 5-minute challenges with the belt. Or at least 5-minute impromptu matches where if you don't last the 5 minutes, or if you do last the 5 minutes, you get to become the number one contender. But instead, we have what finally is a good match on Raw. A fatal 5-way, which indicated who would be facing off against Blowy Samoa.
Wow.
Between Braun, Come Get These Hands, Strowman, Bobby Boy, Lashley, versus the King, Ricochet, The Miz and Sean's boy, his big boy, Cesaro. I thought Cesaro or The Miz could have had the match, personally.
I thought they were going to try to keep Miz busy with this until a SummerSlam where the Shane and Miz feud finally comes to an end, but I was wrong.
Should have come to an end a long time ago.
I thought Braun Strowman would finally get that monster feud with Samoa Joe, but no. I think Lashley and Strowman now are going to continue feuding.
Who's the better, bigger guy? Even though they kind of fly around like cruiserweights, which is very impressive.
That's what I'm saying. Just let them be themselves and you'll get entertaining TV. But no, let's give them a microphone and give them cheesy lines.
I remember when, like, Lashley didn't speak much.
Yeah.
And that was enough for me.
Exactly.
And then with Strowman, all I remember him was just being a monster and just kicking people's ass. And it just... It's like when they talk on the mic, it's not needed.
Now,
at all.
If you're polishing them to be WWE champion, then yeah, because if you're champion, you got to do everything. You can't just fight and then not talk. You got to, like, you know.
Yeah, you got to deliver. But for a mid-card championship like the U.S. title, or I kind of put the Intercontinental above the U.S., but still. Mm-hmm. You can speak, but it's enough where your actions still show that you're the man.
Keep it short and sweet. Don't say much. 20 seconds, 30 seconds, not 5 minutes.
Please.
Anyway, the match itself.
I kind of like that Ricochet's getting the push. I mean, granted that sometimes we see the curse of NXT stars that get brought up to the main show. They get a nice push into the show, and then BAM! They get struck out and put back to mid-card or into the abyss of never seen on TV.
Or if you pull a Tyler Breeze, if you pull a Tyler Breeze, then you are blessed.
Please don't pull up Matt Riddle yet. Please no. Anyways, back to the match. I kind of like the dynamic. You have someone who's a heavyweight / cruiserweight who can carry the show for you versus, like, I think this generation's truest submission machine right now. Interesting contrast of styles. Hopefully they put on a 5-star match or their time doesn't get cut. Dan writes Joe over Ricochet because we'll see a couple cool spots and then the coquina out of a fascinating move. You can't catch him in the 630 is the problem. But he'll probably do something high-flying where he does catch him. I mean, he kind of did it to Ray.
Yeah. Again, I like the dynamic of David versus Goliath type of thing. I would like for these two to feud and not just have it be a one-off, especially when it's a stomping grounds. I would still do the Joe 5-minute or 8-minute, machine where, Ricochet gives it his all, high-flying spots and, off the top rope and on the apron, but it just isn't enough. And Joe, he catches you and that's it, puts your ass to sleep.
So is Joe your pick?
I'm going to go with Joe on this one. Just from a standpoint of I want them to continue to push him as like the 5-minute guy and to also build this feud because to do then again I think about it, they probably need something special for a stomping ground, so we are maybe going to see at least one title change, but I'm still sticking with Joe on this one.
Well, hopefully we get what we want because God knows whenever we do ask for something we never get it. Steel cage match for the WWE Championship. We have Coffee Kingston.
Coffee
versus
the Ziggity Zag Zigster Zigzag Giving Ziggly Zigzag. Sorry.
Dolph Ziggler.
Alright, that works.
You stole the bit. That's why.
Oh.
Kind of got a little sad there for a second.
Sorry.
But it's a rematch of that event in the very beginning of this year. Okay, we're all very upset about it. Oh god. But here, let's okay. So obviously we got the controversy of the ending,
which is good
it builds the story,
and doesn't bury Dolph.
which I do not want to see yet. But this time you keep the New Day out. You keep any chance of him really having a one-on-one match, because let's kind of recap the history these two have as far as like matches go. Whenever Kofi seems to have a championship belt, Dolph is the one that takes it away from him, except this time.
Did you watch? There's like this 30-minute video on YouTube WWE put up right before Super Shakedown. It's like this 30-minute video where it shows all of Dolph and Kofi's matches. And I think Dolph...
By the way, those matches are always 5-star between those two.
These two perform... I mean, yeah, and it's funny, like, you see the evolution of these two, like, coming up from, like, you know, mid-card, Intercontinental Champion, U.S. Champion. Both became champion at one point and then kind of trickled down. Well, Kofi's still champion.
He used to be a cheerleader.
If you can go from being a cheerleader to doing what he's doing now, then you have done something with yourself.
Stand-up comedy, which, by the way, if Dolph, if your show ever comes back, please come to LA.
So I'm actually happy because I feel like there's a shift in direction.
Dolph Ziggler.
I honestly thought, like, because of the way, if history were to repeat itself, I was convinced that if Dolph Ziggler comes back, loses that Super Showdown, out the door. But it seems like they protected Dolph this time, because Dolph brought up a good point. I had you where I wanted you, and your little boy once again interfered. So I think that in this steel cage, I'm calling it right now, it's going to be both of them hitting the floor at the same time. No contest. You protect Dolph Ziggler, then we go all the way to SummerSlam. And when we go to SummerSlam, that's where you have Big E betray Kofi and line up with Dolph, just like they did about 6 years ago. So I'm kind of pulling out a fictional booking here, going back to a couple of years back when they actually were a faction together.
So you're actually betraying the books of booking and creative because you actually want to have a good idea? WWE?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
But what's your take on this whole thing?
Supposedly, there's supposed to be a triple threat at one point.
Yeah.
That is supposed to be in the future while he's still champion. Kofi versus Dolph versus Kevin for the WWE Championship in a triple threat match. I've always liked Kofi and Dolph.
Yeah.
I have. Like I just said, they always put on 5-star matches.
Yes.
Especially when there's a championship on the line. Dolph's paid his dues. He's paid his dues for years.
For sure.
Through gimmick, through bad gimmick, and then finally it's like, all right, like he himself said it, like, in his career, like, you have to reinvent yourself, not just to be over, but to, like, show that you can last in this like business. And I kind of like the fact that, like, he's reinventing himself again. Like, we're not seeing, like, a man who's desperate to be a champion. We're seeing a man who, yeah, he sounds desperate, but he's proving that he deserves to be a champion. And what better person to fight with than Kofi Kingston? And I don't want to put Dolph over just yet, but I kind of am going to pick Kofi to win this match just because I feel like there'll be some kind of shenanigans.
Shenanigans? Okay.
Somehow. I don't know how, but I am hoping this is the 5-star match of the night.
That's what I was going to say when I brought up the New Day and KO and Sammy. I'm calling this to be match of the night. Steel cage match, for sure.
And then Dan writes, Kofi just hasn't found the stride of term of being the champion yet. So it might be time to shift his character slightly before this run goes full south. I think what he means by that is, like, if you can't change the gimmick at this point, we're going to strip you of the belt. Because I even think, like, creative's kind of like, you're not being that serious yet. Like, yeah, you're defending your belt like a traditional champion would, but where's the edge? Where's the it factor that you once had going for it. You can't keep playing the traditional, oh, I'm the good guy baby face that I am the champion. I'm the people's champion. Like, you gotta have, like...
The 2009 Kofi.
Yeah, like, or not even that, like... You can have that heel run, Kofi and New Day. When he first was, like, a heel with the tag belts. Like, it's like, you had the attitude, you had the swagger... You knew, like, yeah, I'm the tag champ. I don't care. I'm the guy. You guys want to like me. Like, have that again.
Yeah.
I'm picking Kofi. You said no contest.
Yeah. Both of them hit the floor at the same time.
I think Dan picked Kofi for this match.
We shall see.
Again, I'm hoping it's a 5-star match. Because they can deliver.
I'm choosing it as a candidate. The only candidate.
Not this one. Moving forward with the Universal Championship match with a special guest referee still to be decided because, God, I don't know why Vince pushes this idiot. We have the reigning, defending, undisputed beast slayer of a champion. Saka Rollinsian.
Yes.
Seth, burn it the freak down. Rollins versus some jackass named Baron Corbin.
Wow. You went full Steve Austin there.
I don't know what he's... can you tell me what Vince McMahon sees in him?
Height.
That's it?
That's all I got.
Because he doesn't have muscle mass. Like, excessive muscle mass as he would like him to have. Like, why? First of all, why are you not here? Second of all, why do we keep pushing Baron Corbin? Is the question. Like, I need to know because I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I will say this, as much as you don't want to hear it. I think that ever since he lost the hair, he's kind of found a gimmick for himself. Being the annoying, sometimes...
Unfashionable jackass? I'm just saying.
Hey man, just be careful at any point in time. It could be your end of days. Because he brings the darkness.
Oh, can you just continue?
And remember, he's everyone's favorite son.
Not in LA, isn't
I guess I'm taking a survey here.
Hey, yo.
Seeing as how we are in a lackluster pay-per-view,
Lackluster hasn't even sold out.
I mean, they had to double or nothing on the tickets.
They're trying to go all out, apparently, and no one's buying.
And trying to have everybody all in the arena.
The other two don't work. Yeah, keep going.
I brought this up just a couple minutes ago. Seeing as how we need excitement, we need spontaneous stuff. Seth Rollins is going to win. I hope, because if I swear to God, if Corbin becomes champion, then all hell's going to break loose. But do you think Brock Lesnar cashes in?
No. I think, and this will be the sad part, if I call this, because I feel like booking just still can't get it right. Let's just say we do find a particular referee finally for this match. Let's just happen this. I know he said no. My favorite super agent there said no. Way in hell he's going to do it.
But
let's just say he disobeys the orders and has the referee shirt on. And lo and behold, as you know, the match is like about to end. He actually like does his job. You just happen to see my favorite advocate just slowly walking down with that briefcase, Seth's staring him down like, count, you son of a bitch. He counts him to 3. He lets Seth win. And as soon as, Seth's music hits, I'm sure, like, they're staring each other down. Or after he counts to 3, like, I'm sure, like, he gets involved and tries to, like, beat the crap out of him. And you have Paul Heyman there, like, ring the bell. Maybe he wins it there and we lose that belt again. I mean, is it sad that would actually be a reality? Yeah.
I guess.
Is it sad to predict that could actually happen?
What?
Yeah, it is. Is it irony that I know that something like that can go down? No. I just don't want it to happen. But what do I know? Apparently, like, our opinions don't matter to the big guy there, since he's all knowing.
Let it out.
What is wrong with you in all that you do lately? Before I read Stan's notes, do we have time to bring back my segment?
Ladies and gentlemen, after a 5-month absence, the commish gets real.
First of all, what the hell is your problem lately?
Who are we talking about?
Vince McMahon.
Oh.
You're pushing us away slowly. I feel like you're opening the exit door, and guess what other door is right there for us to start watching? All Elite Wrestling. Hell, there's another door for ROH. There's another door. And I know they're hiring because it's always open with Impact. Or there's just the independent circuits of wrestling that you can find.
Or New Japan.
Thank you. So why is it you can't book a good pay-per-view like you used to so many years ago? Such a long time history of classic rivalries and classic matches. And yes, of course they were repeats, but you knew how to build on the story. What the hell is wrong with you? You senile old bastard. I swear. There is only 2 things that carry the Monday Night Raw show. One of them doesn't even know the true name of his championship because he keeps changing it every freaking time. It's the 48/7 European television title. That's another segment, by the way, that's carried the show. And my God, by the way, it was very evil last night, and I enjoyed watching it. The Firefly Funhouse, where what happens?
I'm just really glad that you're my friend. Just know that this is a friendship that will never, ever end.
My God, those
no promises.
Those 2 things have carried the show for the last 2 months. You have such a creative genius. You knew what you were doing. Why are you ruining what I love? Why are you ruining what I come here every Tuesday to record about? Because I'll be dead honest. Super Shakedown, Showdown, whatever the hell we can call it now, or Best in the World 2, suck balls. And they said it, and yes, we played it out as a stupid bit for the end of the episode, but I don't care because I'm willing to do what it takes for the show, even though it annoyed me. Don't bring back wrestlers that don't got it anymore. Or give them a year to train, to build themselves up again, because honestly, I've always wanted to see that match. I never got to see it in my childhood or adulthood. And now when I finally got to see it in the comfort of my house, for a crappy fucking show that was in Saudi Arabia, Hogan.
Brother.
They let me down. I mean, granted, I wanted The Undertaker to win and I knew he was going to win, but still, they let me down.
They let you down?
Yes.
Well, it is called Super Showdown.
Oh, but it was a big letdown on top of that.
I mean, I guess you just weren't down to watch it again, were you?
Are you doing another bit in the middle? Okay. Quiet you. But I swear to God, I am tired of Seth fighting jackasses for his belts.
Who's the other jackasses?
It's just Baron and fucking... Oh my God, we were just talking about him. Brock!
Oh.
Who has he wrestled lately? We were supposed to see a title versus title between Kofi and Seth. Never got a true outcome. Who has he wrestled? Oh, what? He finally had a good match last night against Daniel Bryan, which, by the way, another good match on Raw. What have we seen that's been good about the show? I'm asking you, gimmicks aside, jokes aside, I want you to be real with me on my segment right now. What have you enjoyed in the last 3 direct months? And you know what? No. Since WrestleMania to today, be honest about how you really feel about the WWE right now.
There's 3 things that I've enjoyed consistently, where it's like time after time after time. You brought up 2 of them. One is Bray Wyatt, which, by the way, according to everybody, that's all him. It's all Bray. Vince has nothing to do with it, which makes sense. Number 2, this is why I didn't jump on the bandwagon in the beginning. Everybody said, "Oh, the title looks really bad. I don't like the way the title looks." Well, okay, guess what? Now it's the most entertaining segment on this show, so shut up.
And you people watch it.
And 3, Seth freaking Rollins. Whatever no. 4th would be Becky Lynch. I got to give her that one.
Okay, so you enjoy 4 things that if you were to crop them out each week on Monday Night Raw,
each week
would only equal an hour's worth of a show.
Basically,
an hour.
Basically. Do you see my argument of we have to go back to 2 hours? Do you see my argument?
What is the need of a 3-hour show if only one full combined hour of it is entertaining? Hell, if you take out the commercials, it's literally 30 minutes. It's so bad that I am so frustrated with something I love, and I can't enjoy it right because every week it's the typical shit show and nothing changes.
I've been hearing that as of the last 3 or 4 episodes, they have moments where when Raw begins, they don't even have the full show scripted.
Oh my God. What does that tell you?
Oh yeah, and by the way, one last thing, Vince, you have broken your wild card rules so bad.
Did I see more than 4 people from SmackDown Sammy, Kevin,
New Day,
all
3 of them.
That's 5. Okay, so where is the 4?
Daniel,
6,
Rowan,
7,
Roman.
That's 8 people. Hell, Drew's on SmackDown technically.
Is he?
Yes. So that's 9 people. 8 to 9 people who are not even on your quote unquote B show. Bayley. On your A show. Oh my God. What's the wild card rule again?
Well, it
non-existent. What was it?
Well, it was 3. It was 3 people.
I thought it was 4.
Then later on that night, remember when he's on the phone and Lars comes up, he's like, "Yeah, we'll make it 4." Does Shane count?
No, because he's the son of the owner of the company that he's running solely. And I swear to God, and we're gonna end the segment soon on this. If this story is true, I will fucking find a way to just watch All Elite.
Say it.
The rumored title run coming up. Shane McMahon as WWE champion. I swear to Christ, if that is coming true, I'm done. I'm out. I'll vaguely watch Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. I'll just watch pay-per-views. I swear, if you put a belt on him, that belt, I'm out. Tell me your thoughts about that. I know you've heard it.
Yes. Again, we are going back to reviving something from the Attitude Era. Putting a McMahon on TV, putting the title on him.
What was he, the European champion?
Cesaro still hasn't become WWE champion. And if this is true, you're making plans of Shane freaking McMahon becoming champion.
I'm willing to withstand the idiot being the Universal Champion.
Wow.
That says
My God.
a lot. But the minute the son of the owner of WWE gets a belt around his waist, I am done.
You are.
All out. And on top of that, you have, which by the way, he looks great at New Japan. He looked great in that indie show a couple days ago. Formerly known as Dean Ambrose, John Moxley. He's never looked happier in his life than I've seen him.
Living up to his name, Jonathan is good.
Yeah. The guy gets to do whatever he wants. Didn't he win that championship in New Japan?
In New Japan, he won the championship.
It's like their version of the U.S. belt, right?
Oh, I thought it was the main title.
No.
Oh.
That's the U.S. belt, I think.
Well,
Either way, the guy looks great.
And he looks happy.
Do you see anybody in the WWE looking happy, Vince?
Yeah, Baron Corbin.
Okay, back to Dan's notes. Seth has to knock out the special ref for a fair shot at winning. Wow, that's it. He still puts Seth over.
That's another thing is that they told us last night we would find out who the special ref would be, and we didn't. And see, that's another problem is announcing stuff that we're gonna see and then we don't see it. Kind of like how Brock is gonna cash in 2 weeks ago and he didn't.
Friday.
I told them today.
No, but you said Friday.
And he still didn't cash in.
No.
What match are we talking about? Oh yeah,
Seth versus Baron.
I'm picking Seth because can you imagine a world where Baron Corbin is your Universal Champion and Shane is your WWE Champion?
Yeah, I imagine the show going down the drain.
But yeah, I'm calling it. Seth wins. Seth better win.
So here's my question before we move on to the next match.
So you're taking on a survey here. Hey yo. Oh, sorry.
Hey yo. Yeah, I like dragging things out. Okay, get off my back.
What a drag.
Please stop. Not another bit.
What's move number 325?
Oh.
Oh.
There's actually a 325, remember? We did write that in.
I was going to say arm drag.
No, it's the Heroic Hero. Wow, that's such a bland name. Followed by 326, the arm bar. Wait, what were we just talking about? Oh, if we saw a world where both those idiots were champions, I would say. Oh no, no.
You were going to.
I was going to ask you, and this is me being serious. Who do you eventually see Seth losing the belt to? If it's not Baron or Brock, if legitimately it wasn't Brock,
Drew McIntyre.
like a legitimate loss.
Like Drew beating the shit out of you loss.
Wow.
And you kind of have the strings to tie it in, given that he's feuding with Roman Reigns. Like 2/3 Shield type of
the
thing.
The only way I get to you is by destroying
the one brother you got left. Yeah. But I'm not talking about shenanigans. I'm talking about like he kicks your ass win. No shenanigans. Like Beast McIntyre, not low blow and shortcuts and whatever.
So actually giving him like a 5-star match.
Yeah.
Gee, if only we had jobs for writing and creating.
Well, if you're really asking me who do I see him losing to, I swear to God, if he wins his cash and then Brock Lesnar's going to be champion again. So
so you mean we're not going to see the belt again? I mean, the belt exists at that point, right?
He said so gracefully.
Moving on with.
Well, what about you?
Drew, or I was actually gonna give it back to Kevin.
He's on SmackDown though.
Well, apparently he can be on Raw too.
What's the name of that rule again?
Something about a wild card. I don't know. Oh, it's non-existent.
How many people went over to Raw last night?
10.
What's the move number 10?
The arm bar.
Oh.
God, this is so sad. Anyways, moving on with the Raw Women's Championship, we have the Irish Lass Kicker.
Baxter.
The man, Becky Lynch, versus the Southern Belle with the woman's right,
You nasty.
Lacey Evans, for your nasties out there. It's a rematch from
Money in the Bank.
Except, I swear to God, if she's there, I'm going to hate life. I want these two to have a legitimate match. Yes. Because, again, the girl is great with her promos. She, I think, embodies the true female heel.
She's giving Becky a counterpart.
Yeah. I mean, granted, like, lately, Becky has fallen into, like, oh, I was the anti-hero, but I'm kind of embracing being your fan favorite again, like babyface. That is her counterpart. Her truest counterpart in the sense of, like, well, I'm here. I'm the one who's, giving you a run for your money. And I think you need to take me serious.
Not just another blonde.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was... You asked me since WrestleMania, what's been entertaining on the show? Lacey Evans and Becky Lynch have been entertaining. Granted, there are sometimes segments where I'm like, okay, sure. But overall, when the both of them are talking, I like the contrast in style because it's very distinctive. It's not just bland babyface, bland heel.
I don't like you.
I'm going to take your title. I'm going to kick your ass. Yeah. No, we're getting something very distinguishable, and I like it. I just feel like Lacey Evans needs to be protected a little bit more.
In what sense?
So she got like one win last week, but besides that, she's been kind of on the losing end. And
it seems like when she's on Raw or SmackDown, like she'll get legitimate wins sometimes, but equally she'll get losses. And I know we're in an era where a lot of people go, winning and losing doesn't matter. Yeah, it does. Oh, it does.
It does.
Especially to the story.
You would never build a Stone Cold Steve Austin if he just went out there and lost every single night.
Or if he won every single time either.
Yeah. So, wins and losses, they do matter. I don't care what anybody else says. I see Becky Lynch walking out on this one, but I call it to be like just barely. She just barely gets through Lacey. It's not like a definitive win.
So Dan wrote, Becky wins, but not before some shenanigans. She'll likely have to drop it next time if they fight again. Here's my point to this match. Like, I like where they've gone with their rivalry so far. It'd be a perfect rivalry if you didn't include the self-entitled princess of the show. Like, leave her out of this. Like, isn't she on SmackDown? Shouldn't she care for that belt?
Wild card.
Oh, God. Anyways. You would think that, like, that mattered more. Just to have them two. Because, like you said, true contrasting styles of their characters. One is the push of the man against, the lady. And that whole build-up for the last couple months has been good.
Yeah.
Fight-wise, they do put up a good fight.
I was impressed with Lacey at Money in the Bank. I thought she had a very great performance.
I think depending on what belt Bailey had cashed in on, I think if Lacey had won Raw and Becky kept the SmackDown belt, it would have been still the best thing.
I want to keep Becky away from SmackDown because I feel like we're gonna turn it into Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Where
do you feel like she gets buried on SmackDown?
No, it's just we go back to Charlotte versus Becky. We'll do one pay-per-view where it's Becky versus so and so, and the next one Charlotte versus Becky. It's like, bro, we get it. You're beating a dead horse. We get it. We've seen this 1,000 times.
Dead horse. That horse is fucking down in the ground as manure at this point. That's how beaten to the ground it is. I'm just saying. Who's your pick for this?
Dexter, but just barely. I'm talking about like she survives. She doesn't win. She survives.
Do you think at one point she's gonna have to lose the belt?
She is, but I wouldn't do it so immediately because if she loses right now, that belt is gonna go back to obscurity, depending on who's carrying it.
Gee, I wonder what other two belts are obscure in the women's division.
Well, I told you guys about a certain story that I planned out in my mind, so if that comes to fruition...
Well, hopefully it's iconic. Oh, yeah, that's right. Those two still have the tag belts after 30 days of not defending it. I don't know. But moving on. We have... This is a regular singles match, which I'm hoping is a 5-star match as well. Roman Reigns was your soon-to-be movie star along with... It's his cousin, right? They're cousins? Yeah. With Dwayne, The Rock Johnson, versus Andrew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre.
The Scottish psychopath. God, I've been advocating for the guy. The guy needs to get in that title run. And I think, hopefully, the way we booked it, he is doing what we think he's doing. Destroying the last remains of the Shield to, get to where he wants with Seth. Is Shane involved?
Unfortunately, maybe.
Is it repeat?
No, it's SmackDown.
Oh, yeah. Blue ropes.
Yeah. Honestly, Drew needs to win this one. Drew needs to win this one. So you're putting Drew on this? Yes, Drew needs to win
Why
this
does he need to win it, Drew?
Because he's already lost to Roman at WrestleMania. If he loses again, it's like he's going to start losing that credibility.
Do you think it's a burial?
Not a semi-burial, not a full burial, because Drew still is very well protected. Like, you can go look at his track record and it's still really good. But if we're going to pull the trigger on the idea that I proposed earlier, I would say it's a good time for him to defeat Roman and say, see, I told you, ever since you came back, you're not the same. You're not who you used to be. You're weak. And then you build on that to where he finally gets over to Seth.
I mean... Okay, so he beats Roman finally, but does he beat him in a traditional match or after he just puts a beat down on him?
Like I said, there's probably going to be shenanigans. And if there is, you can build it to where Roman says, yeah, you got me, but it was with shenanigans. Then you build to one more match, maybe at Extreme Rules, where Drew just beats the holy hell out of Roman. And it is Extreme Rules, so you can implement weapons. Then from there we build to SummerSlam, where I am hoping that it's Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. Where Drew wins, by the way.
So Roman comes within an inch of the win, and we see him choke and lose again to Drew. Keeps the story going of Roman's shortcomings. It's not that it's building Roman to be weak, but it builds a story around Roman where it's Because Roman said it himself. He's not back for a title run. He's not back to claim something that he never really lost. He's just there to enjoy the fact that, and I think this is him speaking as Joe as well.
Yeah.
I'm able to do the one job I've loved my whole life. And that's all I want to do. And if it's playing along the lines of the story, then yeah, like, you should make him look weak. Like, not completely bury him, but just put him within almost grabbing the brass ring, but not really.
Yeah.
And the better person to do that would be Drew at this point.
Yeah.
So I think everyone's invested in Drew winning this.
Yes.
So we're moving on to the final match of the night, and I swear they better not add more matches. We have the SmackDown Women's Championship on the line with the reigning defending champion Bayley versus his little Lexi. His little Miss Bliss. Alexa Bliss. So the irony of this match to me, this is just me coming out with this. We're actually not seeing Charlotte Flair.
Hooray!
So the SmackDown Women's belt is actually being treated like an actual championship.
And I think Bayley's still being in gimmick. Well, she's in gimmick, but not to the highest degree of how we used to see her. I feel like she's a little bit more serious now.
So if she could be serious for a minute.
I honestly look at this match as, so it's favoring both competitors in what way? First of all, I feel like on the Alexa and Nikki's side, we are going to build on that, where maybe Nikki comes out, indirectly costs her the belt or something. And we're also stalling for Bayley. Maybe Bayley goes on and challenges someone else from SmackDown, at SummerSlam. I called it out roughly about 2 or 3 weeks ago, where you build this whole thing with Alexa and Nikki, where Alexa is like, I'm your friend, I'm here for you, I'm not going to treat you like you're an oddball.
Wrong, you are an oddball, I'm not your friend.
We build this until to a point where you can even have them win the tag titles. Give it to them for maybe about a month or so, and then bam, have Alexa betray Nikki.
So if you put Alexa and Nikki in the tag team title hunt, and you give them the tag team belts, eventually what you could do, not have them lose them to the Iconics in a month, but wait, who's the other women's tag teams that we have?
Mandy and Sonya.
Ooh.
Actually,
you know what? I would be okay with that.
Kabuki Warriors.
Ooh. No, I actually would want to see Mandy and
I want to see Sonya on a singles push. That's what I want.
I'm not going to get that anytime soon because we're not a part of booking, creative, or writing.
Are you listening?
But if you were to put the tag belts on them and have them lose it, where would you build the animosity? Would you have Alexa really come down on Nikki you're costing me everything?
I would have Alexa.
Would you have her do what she did to Nia again?
Yeah, brutalize Nikki, but the only difference between Nia and Nikki is that Nikki's got a psycho side. She's got a crazy side.
And I feel like it's been really reserved lately.
It's downplayed. It's they're kind of Bray Wyating it, where she's soft. She's got a soft spot, but if you look deep down,
she's crazy.
Yeah,
she cray. And
I think you can build that to a very good SummerSlam match. Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Cross. I'll be so torn.
No, he won't be torn. His blonde bombshell is what he wants.
You'd be no.
You want to play? You want to play with Nikki, don't you? Okay, I'm going to move with Dan's notes before I say my piece. Bliss over Bayley. Oh, okay. Via DQ after Nikki breaks down and attacks Bayley for some reason. Built some tension between Bliss and Nikki. So it's like we're taking Bayley out of the picture completely to build on a rivalry with them. If you do it that way, we'll talk about Bayley in a minute. I want to continue with this.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Bayley in the middle of the match after she gets beat up, Alexa comes over like, what the hell are you doing? I had her where I wanted her. You ruined it. And Bailey kind of like, okay, I'm going to slide out. Just walk with my belt. You two can do whatever you want. Like, how do you see them just arguing and she walks, or like someone hits somebody?
No. Argument and she walks. It's too soon. Again, that's the problem, is that WWE pulls that trigger either too early or too late.
Well, what if you did it like this? Like, yeah, like, let's say Nikki cost her the match. They're arguing for a while in the ring, and then all of a sudden, like, Alexa says something that doesn't go well, and she kind of like hits her and knocks her down. Not knock her down, like knock her out, but like kind of like
Push her down?
in a way, and you kind of see the little psychoticness come out a little, but then she kind of like, oh my god, I just pushed my friend, like, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry, and then just have Alexa walk away. Like, kind of, I would kind of build it like that, because like, you still show
small hinklings of what's
that
coming.
psychoticness.
Yes.
Because that builds on that. You
Yes.
can't just have like one night completely, it's like, oh, I didn't mean it, and then the next night you have her snap. I think you should sprinkle it in,
Build it.
slowly.
Yes.
And like, it seems like your girl is very good at manipulation, as far as like how she would want to like portray like everyone that's ever along with her for the ride. The thing that kind of has me, what do you call it? Like torn about this whole thing is just the matter that like, what's the end game for the two of them?
Nikki and
Alexa.
again, like I said, build this to the point where you're essentially giving Nikki an excuse to go full crazy, because I feel like she debuted on Raw, she got buried, she didn't even get a story. Now that
She was just thrown in.
She was just thrown in, much like all the other NXT superstars. Mm-hmm. But this way, like you said, Alexa has that good way of bringing out that thing in people, that other side to people. So I would build it as Nikki and Alexa, they have a few bumps, okay, but we start seeing little, sprinkles of, oh, Nikki kind of has this other side. To where you build it to finally, Alexa and Nikki somewhere down the road having this great match where Nikki proves that, crazy always wins. So, but let's focus back on Bailey for a second, because being the champion, again, she's basically the Kofi of this whole thing, where she's just the third wheel. And actually, you know what? Bailey has been doing some really good character development work. I've been like, I like it when she knocked the coffee out of Lexi's hand, or she's been showing that little bit of like that fire inside, which I like. I think that this is just a way of kind of keeping Bailey busy in the meantime, giving her a feud until we build to an Extreme Rules or a SummerSlam where she will eventually feud with someone else down the road.
Who would you put her to feud with?
Who's on SmackDown?
Ember Moon. Rose.
That's one. Ember
Sonya.
Moon. That's one who needs to get a push right now.
So that's one. Sonya.
Sonya split first from
Mandy.
Carmella.
I feel like Carmella's too busy protecting truth right
yeah,
now.
let her have that.
They're in their own mid-card journey together. By the way, she looks kind of cute as Charlie Chaplin, just saying. Carmella did. It was a cool costume. I liked it.
I guess.
I don't know what the hell he was playing as George Washington, though, because that just threw me off. But
if
who else is in the women's division?
If
here it
she
goes.
comes back,
Basha Sanks?
no.
Oh, somebody else. Now I'm interested.
If you don't make her talk, just don't give her a mic.
Oh,
Nia Jax.
it's too early. She's not healed yet.
What's her recovery time?
9 months. She's
Never
out for
mind.
a year practically.
Never mind. I wouldn't even mind seeing Alana take on Bailey.
Lana has wanted to wrestle lately. Like, she's wanted to prove, like, hey, I'm not Rusev's husband. Or, by the way, where is Rusev, by the way?
Where's Shinsuke?
There's wanted posters for him too, and Liv Morgan. Oh wait, Liv Morgan, the girl that's supposed to get a push already.
Ruby Riott would have been a really good match.
Where the hell is she? Oh, I know where her, Sarah, and Liv have been. Table for 3, which you can now watch on the
only on the WWE Network for a non-negotiable but very reasonable price of only $9.99.
Ruby's on Raw, so you can do it. I mean,
Ruby, wow.
If you were to put Liv Morgan in the run, would you still have her be a little crazy?
You need to develop her. That's the problem.
But how? How do you develop Liv? Like, I'm gonna give you like a couple minute run to build her. Like, build her. Try to book Liv Morgan right now after Stomping Ground.
Depends on what kind of gimmick she's trying to partake in. Because her gimmick was always like flaunting, like the thing where she would sit in the middle of the ring and, would wiggle her legs in the back. So maybe she has like that little, I don't want to say crazy, but that kind of mysterious, that kind of je ne sais quoi type of thing. I would just start. You need to start letting her rack up a couple wins. Let her start off with like local competitors, then start off with like lower people on the card. Let her have a feud of her own with so and so, like with a Mandy Rose or a Sonya or whatever, and then you eventually build her to to Bayley. Would I give her the belt immediately? No, I wouldn't.
So you want Bayley to hold this belt for a good while?
Bayley needs to have some credibility.
Okay. I mean, she just became the first Triple Crown woman to ever accomplish that feat.
And she can have great matches, so.
So here's how I kind of would build Bayley's run right now. After Stomping Ground. She beats, unfortunately, Little Miss Bliss. And she kind of continues facing, like, whoever is in the women's division. I would give her at least a little bit of a rivalry with Mandy. Let Sonya do what she does, play bodyguard, but kind of get into Sonya's head. Like, hey, do you really need to protect your girl over there, or do you need to stop being undermined by her?
How long are you going to be in the back seat?
And in the shadow of Mandy.
And that can even spark up.
Let Bayley be the cause of a lot of problems in the women's division in SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yes, catch the attention of Charlotte Flair. Like, oh, I see what you're doing. I know what you're doing. But it's like, no, you don't get a run. And this is how you build Bayley's character. You don't get a title run anymore. You've already proven 9 times you can't hold the belt. And have Bayley just, like, fully turn heel by attacking Charlotte. Like, almost taking her out status. Like, you're not going to get this belt over my dead body, practically. And then, while that's happening, you have Liv Morgan kind of, like, building herself up. Like, oh, Mandy and Sonya are having problems? Let me take them both out. Ember Moon wants to come after your belt? I can take her out, too. Like, you have Bayley go upwards still and take everyone out, like, cause her mind games, have her go full heel, and you have Liv, like, okay, every problem you've created, I've solved on my own, or I've taken out the problems that you're low-key have been putting in my way.
Yeah.
So they eventually meet, either at SummerSlam or maybe even up to Survivor Series.
Or a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. And have them go at it at that point if you want Liv to finally get that title.
Yeah.
Hell, I was even gonna say at one point, if she takes if you leave that belt with Bayley for a really long time, and they finally convince that idiot to come back, you finally get what people have been wanting to see. That rivalry that everyone's been begging for.
Oh,
never went
who's he
right.
talking about?
Basha Saints.
For a second, I thought you were talking about
Fine, Sasha Banks.
No, I thought you were talking about
Oh.
Raccoon.
No, God, no. She's out the picture for me ever since her stupid 24.
Are
fucking-
you stomping her out?
I'm stomping her to the ground. What? Stomping ground?
You know, I've been thinking about it. I wouldn't mind if Steve Austin made a guest appearance on this show. I mean, it is called Stomping Grounds. Like stomping a mud hole. Get it? Special guest referee, stomp a mud hole. Help Seth. I can dream.
You're dreaming way too high because right now he's doing his podcast again.
You can still referee and do a podcast.
Oh, he just had what's his name from All Elite though. Yeah. So he's out.
He's
All out. Ah.
get it?
Ah.
Because like the name of the pay-per-view
And we're
that's coming
promoting
up.
them
Yeah,
and giving
Steve
them-
Austin, there's no chance because he's like,
Doing his thing, and we're plugging, and we're just bad at this. Anyway, but that's how I would build like Bailey's title run at that point.
don't take it away immediately. That's again, and see, this goes back to how you feel about Basha Sangs.
Just say her name, it's fine.
Okay, Sasha Banks. You give her something, then you take it away. You give her something, then you.
But
take
this time
it
I
away.
would give her something that she can hang on to for a while.
That's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't just
let
give
her hang
Sasha
on
Banks
to
the
it.
belt, just like, oh, we're making you happy. No, I'll give you the belt at Royal Rumble.
You can even pull the trigger once they do the Fox deal.
Ooh, in October.
Yeah, how do we promote it? How do we get eyeballs? Comes out the boss.
You build a rivalry. I was gonna say like if it took that long until January, you give her the redemption of a year ago, losing to Ronda, winning against Bailey for the SmackDown belt. Hell, they can have a rematch at Mania and she can win again.
I'm up for it.
And Sasha finally wins one at WrestleMania.
Sasha and Bailey is kind of like a Flair and Hogan. It needs to happen. It needs to be a match that happens at Mania. It needs to happen.
But they can build on it.
Yes.
Like you don't have to necessarily be like, oh, Sasha versus Bailey at Royal Rumble. Sasha wins. Oh, the next pay per view they got to. No, you don't even have to put them up to fight again. You can have Bailey like still be a heel. Be like, you know what? No, I'm coming after your belt. And if I have to take out whoever's in my way, fine. Put Charlotte in front of him. Put Charlotte in front of him at Elimination Chamber next year. Bailey beats her. And tells her, I told you I'm coming after that belt and now you're not going to stop me. Okay, Fastlane. Let's just say we have another shakeup immediately and we put Ruby on SmackDown. You have Ruby try to take her out. Steamrolls right through her too. Alright, fine. This is what we're really going to take. I'll wrestle you on the biggest stage. WrestleMania 36. You can even put it as the main event.
No, I wouldn't mind.
Sasha versus Bailey, 2020, WrestleMania. Sasha finally gets over at WrestleMania. She's 1-4 now at WrestleMania at that point. Not 0-5. Because if you take the belt away from Sasha at WrestleMania, I'm done. Like, fuck the WWE.
I was gonna say if Bailey hangs on to this belt until WrestleMania, surprise number 30 entrant or Sasha Banks.
Have her reclaim.
That's
the
where you
victory.
build Sasha and Bailey.
I would do it that way.
Because at this point, Bailey is full blown heel and Sasha's the face.
Now, everything that we've low-key built, Dan, I hope you're paying attention. Because I'm not going to continue the rest of it. I'll let you do that with 4 ideas. With 4 women involved. Versus another 4 set of women.
Who are we talking about?
Oh no, he has to build on that. I'm not going to do it. But let's go all the way back to today. He picks Bliss via DQ. I pick Bailey. Who's your pick?
Bailey walks out with the title.
But
It's their shenanigans. I'm thinking Bliss wins by, or Bailey wins by DQ, or there's a count out, or a no contest, or there's shenanigans. I don't see a fair fight. I'm focusing more on the build between Alexa
So
and
what do you
Nikki.
want to put it? What do I put as your entry?
Bailey wins via DQ.
So Bailey via DQ. Okay. So Dan has Bliss for DQ. I'm just gonna say Bailey, like a regular win. Okay. So as you see, we've previewed what could be a good show.
No, let's be honest.
It's only a good show if Triple H runs it,
Money in the Bank was really good.
because he ran it.
Yeah.
There's no Kevin Dunn around. There's no Vince McMahon around. But again, one can dream, one can hope, one can pray.
And one can be let down, squashed, squandered, and disappointed like we always are. And there you go, guys. We just previewed WWE Stomping on Them Grounds, only on the WWE Network for $9.99. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you all next time.